Hey guys, this is just a quick video to hopefully answer some of your questions about your research for your drama unit and give you some examples and stuff like that about how to get some sources and also how you might use sources. So let's get started. So if you look at the drama unit and you look at the assignment sheet, it is going to ask you to pick one of these options from trifles or fences and write your essay about it, and also to incorporate what does it say? 3 secondary sources. So this assignment sheet looks a little bit different from the other ones. It's an older assignment sheet. I do like it though. So you can pick, just remember, you can pick other big themes besides this. Like, you don't have to do conflict or characterization or whatever. You don't have to do these particular things, but it is a good place to start with. So we are looking for 3 outside sources, and the kind of outside sources that you incorporate into your essay is really going to depend on like what you chose to write about. So if you are writing about characterization of Troy in Fences, you might pick scholarly articles that are, directly about the characterization of Troy in Fences. Some other ways you might be able to do that would be to think about how the, like say you're doing something about how the setting maybe impacts the characterization of Troy. You could talk about the setting, and you could talk about the lack of opportunities for Black people at the time. You could look into more historical stuff if you wanted to. You could look into issues of gender politics or the patriarchy, whatever you wanted to. So as long as it relates to Troy, if you say you're doing the characterization of Troy, that's okay. You could, so like, I'm not looking for like any specific kinds of sources for this. They should be scholarly sources, hopefully, that you've gotten from the Basler Library. But beyond that, it doesn't necessarily have to be like literature-based sources. You could do history-based sources. You could even do some psychology-based sources. So like if you were familiar with research in psychology and you're like, oh, hey, well, Troy has some narcissistic personality tendencies, feel free to do that, and include research that way. So I almost want to apologize for making it so open-ended or so broad, because I know that sometimes that does make it harder, but the idea is to make it so that you can really kind of choose what you want to write about. So and have a little bit more agency when it comes to that. So whatever kind of scholarly sources you think would be appropriate to integrate into your paper is really going to depend on what kind of paper you're writing. And I'm more than happy to help you find stuff or talk it over with you. You can shoot me a message or we can Zoom or whatever. But yeah, so I don't want the sources to really be a burden here. It's more giving you a way to bring other thoughts into your writing and kind of almost even give you some more things to talk about. Also, it's required, like I have to require it. So I think if it was up to me, I wouldn't require it because I'd rather just hear what you have to say. But yeah, so you do have to include 3 sources that will be worth points. But how you do that is really up to you. So the sources do need to be scholarly. I'm going to show you how to find some on the databases and the library website. So not just like anything, but again, if you have a cool idea, go for it, and just let me know if you have questions or want help kind of sifting through it. So I'm going to give you a little overview. I know you watched all those library tutorials last week, so hopefully you're really familiar with the library website and how it works, but I will show you some stuff anyway. So first thing, this is the main page if you go to the library homepage. And one way that you can search for sources would be doing this whole catalog search. So I could say, let's see, I'll do trifles as an example. Make sure I spell her name right. So I just typed in Trifles by Susan Glasspool. And it pulls up, it may or may not pull up good stuff. So as you see, I didn't like Google or not Google. I didn't search like characterization or anything like that. I just looked up the play just to see what's happening here. So it looks like there's a book that's available online, and another book and some articles. So just know that like this might be all you have to do is go to this main library catalog search, and you may be able to find stuff from there. So yeah, this seems like there's a whole bunch of options here. You will probably have to sign in order to actually get to the source. So this is, let's see, full text availability. There, it looks like I'm signed in. If the library website makes you sign in, just make sure you're using the same credentials that you log in D2L with, and it shouldn't be that bad. So if you're on EBSCOhost, say you can send this, you can view the whole PDF, you can get an EPUB, so like reading apps like Kindle will use EPUBs. You can send it to Google Drive, you can send it to OneDrive, which is what Northeast State uses. You can download it, you can do all sorts of things. So if you want to look through this whole book, it is available there. So this is going to be kind of the nice thing compared to Google Scholar. I know everybody's kind of defaults to wanting to use Google Scholar, but it's really, it's not the best option because it's like so much cool stuff and so much useful stuff is behind a paywall. And you can get behind that paywall on a lot of this by using your Northeast State credentials. So like Northeast State purchases digital copies of these books. We purchase something, pay for something that allows you to access all of this. So you will probably find that you're able to access more specific materials through the Northeast State Library than through Google, just because of the pay situation. So that really may be all you have to do is just look up the name of the, your play on, excuse me, I have been so sick, on the Basler Library here. Oh no, there we go. On this search the catalog, that may be enough. You may be able to find something that way. Let's see. I'm going to try another one just as an example. Let's see if I can make it real pared down. Fences, Troy, characterization. Let's see if that pulls up anything. Nope. So, let's do August Wilson Fences and see what happens. Again, I just looked up August Wilson Fences. I'm going to add Troy to it and see what happens. Narrows it down a little bit. Yeah, so this catalog search might be good enough. Other things you can do would be to go directly to some databases. So I click the database button. I'm going to filter my search to just literature because that's what I'm looking at. And I'm going to hit search and it'll pull up JSTOR. I'm going to open that in a tab so we can look at it in a second. I am truly not sure what the different, like Gale Literature versus Gale Literature Criticism versus Literature Resource Center, they have some different stuff on them, but I truly don't know what they're trying to say the difference is. There is a difference between literature and literary criticism. So literature is like the works themselves, and literary criticism is like stuff people have said about it. But I'm not sure what the actual difference is here. So you can look it up. I would say JSTOR is a good bet, and so are these literature ones from Gale. So we'll look at JSTOR first, and I'm just gonna again, okay, JSTOR is always so pretty. I'm gonna look up Trifles, and it has 165 things. Again, you can download them. Again, the nice thing about using the databases is that it will cite it for you. Go ahead and cite it in MLA. Gale does the same thing. See what it comes up with. You can see you can like you know, I think you can wait, we have to get to something. There we go. So yeah, you can download it. If you want, you can hit cite and it'll give MLA. So just know that for now, that the databases are like anything that you find through Northeast State website is going to probably give you the citation, and you're not going to have to like look for it super duper hard or use EasyBib or whatever to make your own. That is the same, actually. Sorry, I feel like this video is all over the place. I had a plan. Stop working out. So let's see, even if you like just do the main library search, like, so I'm on the catalog search again and I've clicked on this book, you can cite you'll get the citation for the book there as well. So that is another reason to use the library databases, but instead of just Google Scholar, because it will go ahead and cite it for you, as well as give you like access to stuff that otherwise wouldn't be free. So just know that. All right, so I would say try the catalog search first, just because that's easier, and theoretically all the stuff within the databases is on the catalog search. If that proves to be not working out for you, if you're looking for literature specific sources, then I would use JSTOR here, or Gale Literature, or one of those Gale Literature ones. You can try them and see what you think. I haven't found very much difference from the things that I've looked up anyway, and the results that you get. So this is one way that you can use your sources. Or one way that you can. I gotta slow down. One way that you can find sources is through the Northeast State Library. This is the best way. I would prefer that you use the library. You can use the catalog search, or you can use one of these databases. If you can't find, so say like you're doing like gender roles or something, there's probably going to be plenty of stuff. So gender ideology and dramatic convention and progressive eras plays, like, so I know that I've seen this one before, and it talks about other works besides Susan Glaspell's Trifles, but you could use this if you want to talk about it. But let's say you like can't find something that you really want to write about. So other options would, besides just looking at literature based like sources, would be like I said, history based is a great way to start. You could talk about like something about the time and place. So the setting, maybe think about how the setting would impact the challenges that the characters face. You could talk about how that time and place would create limitations on people. So both in Trifles and in Fences, we see all of these social limits that are being put on people, and people are trying to figure out how to live or exist within the limits that are put on them. So that could be a really interesting thing, would be to look at the historical time period and talk about how that might have affected like what opportunities characters had. So history, totally fine, valid thing to incorporate sources about. If you feel, so this isn't required for you to care about the author at all, but if you're interested in the author, like if you're interested in who August Wilson was as a person, like you liked Fences and you've noticed that it says he has lots of other plays and you want to learn more about him, you could use a source, or all of your sources, or one of your sources, to discuss a little bit about the author's biography. Not that you have to, I'm just giving you options here. So you could talk about how the author grew up, or what they were, what their body of work is about. So like, what did they spend their career writing about? That would be an interesting thing for use for a source, besides just literature stuff. Psychology, I said. So if you think that there's something diagnosably wrong with someone in one of these stories and you want to try to do that, have at it. You could compare and contrast. You could also like bring in other stuff, like Susan Glaspell's A Jury of Her Peers is like the short story version of Trifles. I've had people compare and contrast those. So really big thing here, I want you to try to at least try to use the library databases. You're going to have access to a good amount of stuff, and it's going to cite it for you and everything like that. So try to use the databases would be great. Again, you're going to try to get 3 sources. What those sources are about, again, is kind of up to what you want to talk about. So if you can find plenty of stuff about your topic, just looking at the literature stuff, go for it. But if you want to include some history, or even some politics, or some, I don't know, gender and race stuff, or some psychology, that's totally fine. Feel free to bring in some other stuff as long as it's scholarly and as long as you do start with the databases. So I hope that clears it up a little bit. It shows you some places to look. I'm going to make another video for you to show you what the research document should look like.